And we're live. Hopefully today will go as well as last week did. I will be doing a giveaway later. Some rock and roll memorabilia. All right, a piece of it. You guys stick around to find out how to get it. Absolutely free. I'll be giving it away. Today I wanted to talk about whatever I want to, but a little bit of stuff about rock and roll. Damn, I gotta fix that problem. I gotta sit back here. I don't look so big on that camera, but I look big on this camera. All right, let's see how today goes. Upset some people this week. Not as many as I thought. Well, not even over the band that I thought. I thought I'd catch more hate for not being a Led Zeppelin fan like I've done in the past, but that wasn't the case today. Brandy, what's up, buddy? Glad you made it. I'm going to give away something later. Absolutely free. But it'll be later. Some rock and roll memorabilia. I'll actually give people a choice. But we'll see how this goes. I'm doing great. I had a good day at work. I actually had a good nap today. I don't normally get naps, but I did today. Trying to work this camera out so my head don't look so damn big. Maybe I can scoot that back a little bit. There. Maybe that'll work. I'm doing a double live again this week. I'm live on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. I'll answer anybody's questions. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. And like I said, I'm giving away some piece of rock and roll memorabilia later. You got to stick around to find out how to do that. I actually have a couple of things. I'm going to let people choose what they get. But I'll send it to you absolutely free. I was surprised how many people got upset about me saying AC/DC is overrated. I didn't hate on AC/DC. I like AC/DC. I just think it's a fact that they're overrated. Hey, my mom joined on TikTok. Yay. Hey, Mom. Hope everybody's doing well. Those of you on TikTok, let me know where you're from. I get people from all over here on YouTube. Have people from Africa, Germany, England. There's another country. People aren't really talking over here. Hey, Mom. Hey, TY. Oh, there we go. I wonder if I can see that without my glasses. No, I cannot. What was I fixed to say? Yeah, Brandy, even Angus Young says that a lot of their albums. Ryan, what's up, buddy? Even Angus Young says it. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works for them. And like I said in the video, with the two albums they did where they tried to sound different, Fly on the Wall and what's that other piece of crap? Flick of the Switch. Those are their two worst selling albums. Nobody wants to hear that. But I can't. What the part that gets me the most is that grown adults get that pissed off, and they feel if you think differently than I do, I can say whatever I want about you. I find it funny because it's like junior high, but they just get all pissed off and bent out of shape. Oh, what? You don't think like I do? I wonder how they act when they find out their friends drink Pepsi instead of Coke or wear Adidas instead of Nikes. Do they act the same way? Get all pissed off and I hate you. Ryan, how are you doing today, buddy? Glad to see people here. If you're just joining, I will be giving away a piece of rock and roll memorabilia later in the video. It's absolutely free. You don't have to jump through hoops or nothing. It's super simple. All my giveaways are super simple. Oh, go ahead, TY. Ask away, man. I love when people ask questions. That's a good way to make that money. Oh, I'm doing good. I had a nap today. Naps always help. Ate my lunch and I just fortunately I woke up in time. Hey, TikTok, if you would share this, man, that would be great. I mean, some of the questions you'll hear me talking about or conversation is because it's on YouTube, and YouTube, don't forget, I'm also talking on TikTok. So you may not see, but I'm trying to make sure I pay attention, equal attention to each group. All right. What do I think the 17-year-old metal kids are listening to? Um, I I don't know that any of them are listening to. I know they love the Iron Maiden T-shirts because, like, when my son was in high school, they go by and go, "Yeah, cool shirt," and I'm like, "What's your favorite song?" What? They had no idea what I was talking about. They just like the shirt. So I don't even really know what these younger kids are listening to. Yeah, I mean, I know that the bands like Motley, Metallica, Def Leppard, they've got a younger following on top of the older people who can afford those ridiculous ticket prices. But the 80s metal bands are doing quite well right now as far as touring. So yeah, yeah, Ryan. There is a group. There are some younger people listening to metal, but a lot of them are listening to that garbage ass rap where you got to be killing somebody or got fat stacks. It's got all the cliche stuff that's in it. So that's the problem with music right now, especially in America, is the kids are being force fed this garbage and they think it's good. Yeah, but as we rapidly approach that age, I think that's why metal's reaching that level because we still believe the music's good, so we keep it alive. But like my kids, well, my son, he's not as much. He does have something he listens to, but my daughter literally listens to all the shit that I listen to. I listen to everything, and she has a broad palette too. But my main music that I love is 80s metal. But that being said, I can be listening to 80s metal and turn on Air Supply. I got to hear Air Supply yesterday on the way home, All Out of Love, one of my favorite Air Supply songs. But so I think a lot of it has to do with their parents. Now, granted, there is the group of kids who want their own stuff and they go out on their own looking for their own identity and stuff. Yeah, TY, the Japanese metal bands, not just the girls, the guys too, most of them. There are older guys, but they're still young and they can do it. They have all that energy that we loved from the guys that we were listening to in the 80s. They had that energy, and that's what pumped us all up, and that's why we were into it. So this generation of the Japanese metal bands have that same energy and they can do it. Unfortunately, a lot of the bands, like when I mentioned in my overrated bands videos on YouTube, if you haven't seen those, look on Sixx Daze, look up the Sixx Daze channel on YouTube. I released my top 10 overrated bands and then 10 more overrated bands. Upset some people. But I'm not trying to upset them. It's just being brutally honest. These people here will tell you that. Yeah, Ryan, I agree. That was kind of where I was getting. That music was so good that it still works. There's some dated music out there, but it's still good. But that's why it has the following that it has, and people are paying that kind of money to go see these bands, even though those bands suck now because they just can't do it, or they're lip syncing and the fans don't care. I don't like that. I want to be entertained, but I'm not going to overpay to go see some band that doesn't have it anymore and they can't do it. Those of you on TikTok, welcome. I keep pointing out that I will be doing rock and roll memorabilia giveaway later. It's absolutely free. You don't have to do anything, but stick around to find out how to get it. It's nothing super spectacular, but it is genuine. Yeah, TY, I think that's why you have that. Yeah, I don't, as much as I love Ozzy, I would never go see him. And I know he's only doing 2 more shows, but I would never pay to see Ozzy now. Saw him back in the day when he was young and could do it, and it was great. Well, the music's great. So you get all tied up in that with listening to Ozzy. I love Ozzy's earlier albums. I still listen to them today, and I still love them to this very day. But I would never pay to go see him because he can't do it anymore. I would never pay to see any of the bands who can't do it. And the weird thing is there are a few bands out there that still can do it. Tesla is still touring and they still sound good. John Mellencamp still sounds good. Ryan, I wouldn't quite equate it to that because I assure you Mike Tyson will still bring it. I don't know that he could beat up a 20-year-old professional wrestler that's properly trained, but Mike Tyson still got it. So I don't know that I would say that. But I get what you're saying. And we just have to accept that. They're older. Let that shit go. You're going to ruin your memories. That's like once you move away from your hometown when you grow up and you have all those memories of home and you decide, oh, I'm going to move back home. That's not home anymore. So you go back and you do have some nostalgia, but it's not home anymore. You can never go back to that. So what you end up doing is dicking up your memories. So I would never pay to see any of those bands. I'm sorry, Alice Cooper. We saw him in December of 21, I think it was, or 22. And my wife even pointed out, he puts on an incredible show. This is my 7th time seeing him. And he's still just as good as he was then, back in the day. So Alice Cooper is one of the anomalies. He still puts on a great show. It was outstanding. And I know I've been seeing a lot of bad stuff about him lately. Yeah, I just saw their tour dates, TY. I didn't see them coming here where I'm at, but I do know that Hanabi's coming to the States, which is great. I would love to see them. Hopefully they'll swing through Austin because I would love to see that. When we saw Alice Cooper, Ace Frehley opened for him. And I know I've been saying some bad shit about Ace lately, and his performances haven't been looking good. But that night, he was on. And instead of ruining songs that he knew he couldn't sing, the other younger members in the band sang the songs, and it was still great. It was still a great show. I enjoyed Ace's stripped down show better than I did when he was in Kiss. When I was a kid, Kiss was great, but as you get older and you realize it's just the gimmicks because they're not a great band. Never have been. They've got some songs that I absolutely love, I have loved from day one, but Kiss as a band is just a joke. And Kiss fans also get mad. When I brought up the fact about them lip syncing way back early, way back when I first started doing YouTube videos, fans were getting upset. I did an entire video exposing Kiss, how they're ripping people off, all that stuff, and fans were defending that. TY, yeah, those prices jump up once they know they can make some. I'm not saying the band, but the promoters and stuff. Once they know that they can start making money off of them, they're going to. TY, I agree with that to a point. Like I said, there's some guys that some of them are still doing it well. I don't mind paying that. That being said, I'm not going to pay stupid money to see them. I paid a decent price to see Alice Cooper. We were on the floor, had great seats. We have a couple of venues here that have phenomenal seats. There's not a bad seat in the building, so I love to go to those venues to see bands. But Judas Priest, Judas Priest came through here a while back. I can't remember if it was right before the pandemic or one of the first shows after the pandemic with two other groups. I was more interested in seeing the other groups. I've seen Judas Priest, but the tickets were a reasonable price until they went on sale. And as soon as they went on sale, the sale opened, the price tripled on the tickets. I'm not paying that kind of money to see you. It's like I refuse to pay the money that Kiss charges. Yeah, I know they're done, but I mean, through their long goodbye. Last time I saw them, I paid $10.50, I think it was. I'm not paying thousands of dollars to see the same show. But now you're old and can't do it. I mean, I'm not shitting on them for being old. I'm shitting on them for ripping people off. Brandy, I was literally just fixing to say that, dude. There are cover bands touring the world that sound like these bands that we love or loved did back in the day. They're putting on that show. There's a Van Halen tribute band. I follow them on TikTok, and they kick ass. And I know people make fun of them, but these guys tour the world. They kick ass. They sound great. It sounds like Van Halen back in the day. That's what I was talking about, TY. Ryan, but that's become a big business. Not so many bands are interested in doing anything different, like this Van Halen tribute band. There's also a couple of Iron Maiden tribute bands. There's pretty much all the bands from the 80s, the really good ones, have tribute bands. I don't think any of them are interested in doing anything else. They found a way. They make a living playing music, touring the world, having a great time. They're living the life. So I think a lot of them have just settled on that, and that's what they're going to do. Otherwise, why would they spend so much time and money for the look, the sound, the equipment, all that stuff? Exactly, Brandon. That's where a lot of the bands have settled into. Even older bands that we listen to, they've settled into the fact that nobody wants to hear anything new. I can't remember which band it was. Was watching them in an interview, and the interviewer asked him, when are you going to come out with a new album? He said, we're not. Why would we do that? Nobody's interested in hearing anything new from us. They want to hear the old shit. That's all anybody asks. So we tour and play what they want to hear. So yeah, you might as well play it. That's exactly right. You might as well be playing what the people want to hear. I don't know why the chat's not happening over here. Nobody has said nothing. People join and leave. My mom said hi when she joined, but other than that, nobody's really talking over here. So that's weird. But yeah, TY, definitely the Japanese bands, they're doing the new material. And even when they do covers, they kill those covers. Hey, Teddy, how you doing? I appreciate you saying something. Uh, I will be giving away a piece of rock and roll memorabilia later. It's super easy. All you got to do is stick around. You don't have to do anything but stick around and find out how to get it. They are young and it doesn't hurt. They're very easy on the eyes. uh, I don't, Mama, Teddy, I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well too. Hey, thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate that. Uh, I really appreciate it. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing as equally well. Where are you from, Teddy? Yeah, Brandy, I was just watching something like that here not too long ago. Uh, Talking about how many great albums were released like in one single year in the 80s. Hey, Spec, what's up, buddy? Uh, oh, what did I miss? Oh, yeah, definitely, Brandy. They tour for a year, write new shit, go in the studio, pump out an album, and go back on tour. Absolutely. Uh, but Rhode Island, wow, that's way. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I remember Teddy, because I was like, yeah, that's way up there. Yes, I do remember you from last week. I am so sorry. I'm all wrapped up in this conversation we got going here about bands, and I kind of spaced it for a minute. So I'm very sorry about that, buddy. Uh, I'm glad to see you came back. I appreciate that. Uh, but we're talking about bands and them. Now the older bands are still touring and ripping people off essentially, but there's younger bands out there. And it's kind of weird because I discuss it a lot on YouTube that people will go overpay to watch these guys who can't do it anymore, as opposed to paying to see the younger people that are doing it, be it a cover band. Because, you know, like Brandy said, I'll pay $10 and buy a couple of beers to watch someone get on stage and kick ass, do entertain me. Yeah. Uh, a lot of those bands, like I can't believe Rat still tours. Stephen Piercy can't sing anymore. Just like, yes, Teddy, that is exactly right. It's out of nostalgia, but you know, when they go see these bands, for me, that ruins the memory. The last time I saw Motley Crue on the Dr. Feelgood tour, oh yeah, well, that's because uh it's because he still does what he does. He's still Stephen Piercy. Uh but yeah, it's out of nostalgia. So the bands are taking advantage of that. And when I did the overrated thing, that's part of my considering bands overrated. Because instead of, like Motley Crue said, they came out of retirement because the fans wanted it and they have a younger generation. No, no, it's a money grab, just like Kiss did. It's a money grab. So they're playing off of that nostalgia thing. That's another good point, Spec. And I had said that before you got here. There are still some bands that can do it. But yeah, Loudness, granted, they've had personnel changes, but still, and show you, they just sound great. They, I was stunned when I found out how old they are. But these older bands like Motley Crue taking advantage of the nostalgia. Yeah, that's a good point. Over here on TikTok, Teddy pointed out that it's kind of like when wrestling fans want to see the older wrestlers from back in the day. They can't move like they used to. I mean, it's so for me that ruins your memory. Like when I saw Motley Crue on Dr. Feelgood, they still had it. They still put a good show, the energy. But my daughter went and saw them on that the final tour, into the road, whatever they called it. Uh, Alice Cooper was better. Vince can't sing. It's horrible. And then the other thing about, okay, ask away. I actually have to, I like old school rap, and there's some new stuff that I get along with. I'm okay with. but I've had to react to it on my YouTube channel where I do music reactions for you on TikTok. Uh, I've had to react to a lot of rap. There's some good rap, but that gangster rap shit, no. TY, if Ice Cube, I just reacted to an Ice Cube song. Hey Kim. Uh, and he wasn't doing so much that. He was Ice Cube. But he, even him with that style, I mean, coming from NWA, he still didn't do what these kids are doing now, talking that kind of shit. So that's what my daughter said too, Brandy. Yeah, Alice still has it. So, Motley Crue just don't, and it's a shame. Uh, but no, so you don't have the old gangster rappers doing that. It's not that they're not above saying that they'll get you. I've got to watch that so I don't trigger any. I may have already ruined my monetization on YouTube because AI probably picked up something I said earlier and it had already slipped out when I said it. Yeah, Teddy, there's some artists out there, but they don't get pushed. That's the problem. He said that he doesn't like the new hip hop. Every now and then he might like a song. Um, and there's some good artists out there, but they don't get pushed because right now what's hot is that gangster rap. And I've done videos where I've shown multiple songs and they all have to have that same thing. Look at these stacks and I'm going to pop you. Yeah, yeah, it is hard to get that that vibe that I'm a partier when you're 70. That's, well, as I rapidly approach 70, I mean, I still got a little over 13 years left, but uh oh, I love Amish Paradise. And the backstory on that, on what happened, that makes it even better. But Gangster's Paradise, that's a good example. I love that song. That's one of my all-time favorite songs, Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. I still love it today, like I did the first time I heard it, but it's still not in your face. The way they did the gangster rap back then was more matter of fact, not bragging, just this is how it is. But where gangster rap has gone now is more like bragging. You got to be catching a body. You got to have stacks. You got to be treating women like shit. And I'm really not down with that. And there's some metal songs when I listen to now, when I hear what they're saying, I don't really care for them now either because I'm like, oh shit. And I'm not that guy. I'm not one of the millennials. You can't say that. They're going to hurt my feelings. I'm not one of them. But there's some shit that's, I know the difference between right and wrong. So you hear shit that's just wrong. Yeah, yeah, I never get in the mosh pit. Uh, but they, you know, the way they're kind of bragging about it and it's become this thing, is actually to me, it's a cliche now because those kids have me reacting to so much of that. And I feel comfortable calling it garbage. And it was just the same. And when you would point out, it's the same shit. I usually, if I didn't have the video knowing I was watching a different artist, if I just heard it, I would say 80% of them, I wouldn't even know it was a different artist. I would assume it's the same artist. But the record labels are the ones pushing that because it's working. It's the same way they killed metal. They're going to kill this gangster rap. It's not going to last much longer because once the record labels found out, because like with metal bands, it wasn't grunge that killed metal. It was the labels that killed metal. Because if you notice, someone put out a ballad and it worked, a power ballad, and it's like, oh shit, this works. So next thing you know, all bands were putting out a power ballad. Then they had to put out an acoustic ballad, and it just got so saturated. D. Snyder pointed it out, and as much as I don't like D. Snyder because I know what a dick he is, because I know people that know him. So as he pointed out that the labels went, oh, this one sold 1 million records. Well, if we put out 30 of them, that's 30 million. And it just saturated the market. So this rap, this gangster rap now, because they're all using the same formula, eventually we're going to move past that. You know, when NWA was doing it, it was different. I still feel different when I listen to like Straight Outta Compton, one of my all-time favorite songs. I love that song. And it's the attitude in it. And even though they're talking about a lot of the same shit that these young gangster rappers are singing about, it's just a different vibe when you get it or when you're hearing it. Am I talking too loud? Because I kind of feel like I'm talking too loud. So if I am, let me know. Y'all got me kind of worked up talking about this. I feel good about this. The conversation, the way it's flowing. Audio level's fine. Good. Oh yeah, Public Enemy too. That's yes, spec. But that's what I'm saying. It was a different, even though it's kind of the topic wise, it's kind of the same. It was a whole different vibe. So these kids today, and like with mumble rap, I was going to do a video. I was actually putting it together. Body count, yes. Well, of course that was good. I was actually putting together a video about mumble rap, how a lot of the mumble rap artists actually make fun of their fan base. They're stunned by their fan base. It's not about content at all. And that's something else that gets me when I would react to some of the rap stuff. And I was just like, that song sucks. Oh, you don't get it. It's a hype song. What? Yeah. It's to get you pumped up. It didn't get me pumped up. It was stupid. Piece of shit. So that kind of throws me off. But I don't know, man. Right now, the American music scene is definitely doom. Just doom and gloom. And I honestly think gangster rap keeps those kids down. Gary Holloway, I will be damned. Gary, buddy, if you were feeling that bad, please go get some rest, man. I worry about you a lot, especially since I know you're sick. Yes, Teddy, matter of fact, I have two autographed Tom McDonald CDs. Oh, that's not Tom McDonald's. They're in here somewhere. This is a band called New Medicine. I've seen these guys live. I like them a lot. TY, wait a minute. Let me finish Teddy's. Yes, I like Tom McDonald. I used to say I love him, but it's kind of like, I think for me, he's run out. He's kind of grasping at straws now instead of staying the course to what he was doing. Oh, genre? They are definitely a rock and roll band, Gary. Let me finish this real quick. Yeah, his recent work has not been good. And he's doing a lot of collabs, and I do not like his collabs. I never have. So yeah, Tom is really, I guess he's peaked and he's already going down because it seems like he's grasping at straws. Okay, TY. I did not even bother listening to it, Teddy. I like Ben Shapiro, but I didn't bother listening to it because he hasn't released anything I want to hear lately. I've tried. I've actually reacted to a couple songs, but okay. Taylor Swift. She, as much as I dislike her, I openly admit I like some of her songs, but she did it smart. She did exactly what anyone should have done. She's grown her music with her crowd. So she's not trying to stay in that same genre where she started or the same style of music. She's brilliant. brilliant businesswoman, because she grew her music as her fan base grew. So she still has her fan base. They've grown up listening to her. So that was brilliant. So I can't hate on her. I don't like her. Well, you're the only one saying that, TY. I asked last week and everybody had no problems with it. I am doing 2 live streams at once. I am live on TikTok and I am live here. Nobody had a problem with it last week. Everybody was on board because I asked everybody. Gary, but the answer to your question is they're a rock band. We saw them on a festival, and I found out later that the singer had just had his appendix removed a day or two prior to the show, and you couldn't tell. I found out later that he had his appendix out, but still did the show. And when they were going through, after they did their set, they were going through the crowd, taking pictures, signing autographs and stuff. I'm talking about a band called New Medicine. If you have not heard, they just released a new album. I saw them a long time ago. The title track off this, Race You to the Bottom, is one of my favorite songs off of it. And Rich Kids. Gary, I don't know that you would like, most of you that are in the Japanese rock, I don't know that you would like this. I don't know that you would like them, but they're a good rock band. And speaking of rock bands, there are 2 American rock bands out right now, and I can't get views on them on my channel on YouTube. Nobody seems to care. But Gunshine, they're making big waves. They're a good rock and roll band. And Ace Monroe Band. I am digging the shit out of those guys. The singer and both the singers are great singers. I enjoy both of them. Ace Monroe goes live a lot here on TikTok, and I enjoy their lives. They are fantastic. And that's raw, just acoustic stuff. They sound great. So, wow, look at Ken giving me all them likes. Thank you. But I really like those three bands. New Medicine is kind of a newer kind of rock band as far as their sound goes, because some of it's just straight rock metal and some of it's kind of like rock rap. But I dig the whole vibe. But Race You to the Bottom I love that song. So if you haven't heard it, New Medicine, Race You to the Bottom. That song, I love that song. So that would be a song that I would suggest listening to. And Rich Kids, I like that one. It's just a fun song for me. And yeah, those are the ones. But yeah, Gunshine and Ace Monroe, even though there's not a whole lot of bright lights in the American rock scene, I really enjoy Ace Monroe and Gunshine. Oh shit. Oh shit. I think if Vince Neil had his lips sewn shut, we couldn't tell the difference. Oh, Gary, I did it last week for the first time. I did this double live like this. I did okay. I feel a little bit better about it today. I'm carrying on the conversations of if I'm doing it to one, so I'm trying to answer anything over here and over here. Again, I'm going to give away something later. I am on TikTok. I'm live on TikTok. It's Bob Sixx, BOBBSIXX. So I'm live on TikTok as well. I am going to give away a piece of rock and roll memorabilia later. Right now it's low, but this is only my second. Well, I mean, I've done lives in the past, but this is only my second consistent live for TikTok. I'm going to start doing TikTok live every Thursday unless it doesn't work out. But I'm going to do it like this. I'm on here anyways, and TikTok's pushing it harder than YouTube is. So, because TikTok's wanting us to do more live, so they're pushing live better than why YouTube does. So I might give away my autographed picture of Nina Strauss. Might. Oh, I didn't show TikTok. I'm sorry. I might give away my autographed picture of Nina Strauss. She's a fantastic guitarist. So what are we going to talk about now? I carried on about all this. What do I think? Oh, hang on. Let me answer TY real quick. A lot of times that happens with, I mean, as good as she is, she's still not to that point. So you really got to be careful, and you don't want to. I'm not saying that she could be or it would happen, but you do not want to have opening acts blow away the headliners. It happens. That's like with comedy. You don't want opening acts that are funnier than you. That creates all sorts of problems. I've never had that happen. I've had opening acts that piss the crowd off, so it's hard. It's harder. I have to work harder when I get up there. So what do I think about the future of rap hip hop in the US? It's going to have to change. Oh, and I'll tell you, TY, I'll be back to you with that in just a second. I can give you a prime example of that. But I think rap hip hop will make a turn here in the near future because it's just so flooded, and sooner or later, everybody's going to get bored because it's the same crap over and over and over. So eventually the kids will get tired of it and they're going to move on to a next level. I'm not saying it's going to be better, but I think rap hip hop will make a change. TY, me and my kids went to see a festival. Oh yeah, I'm already bored with it too. I'm surprised the kids haven't gotten bored with it. We went to a festival. Stone Sour was the headlining act. It was Theory of a Dead Man, As I Lay Dying. Shit. I can't remember the other band, but the opening acts were so good. We left when Stone Sour came on. We only listened to a couple of songs and left. Corey Taylor had that whole "I'm a rock star" thing. He was trying to act like he does in Slipknot, but it just was not good. So I asked the kids, I said, "What do y'all think?" And they both said they were hungry. We chunked the deuce and we left. So the opening acts were so good that when Stone Sour came on, not that Stone Sour is a great band, but when they came on, it was just not good. Here's a question for all of you. What's a band that you saw that you were really let down by when you saw them live? For me, it's ZZ Top. They are the most boring band live. They sound great. They're a super tight band, but when I pay to see you live, because if I just want to hear the music, I could sit at home and listen to it for free. They were so boring. Me and my wife left. I didn't feel bad about it at all. Good God, I could have went to sleep. And something else about that show that pointed out. Oh, I've never heard of either of those bands. I don't. When we saw 3 Days Grace, Powerman 5000 was one of the opening acts. Powerman 5000 is the lead singer is Rob Zombie's younger brother. I think his name's Spider, something like that. But Powerman 5000 kicked ass. I really enjoyed it, and he sings a lot better than Rob. So Powerman 5000 kicked ass. I've never heard of either one of those bands. Diamante and Starbenders. Oh, you know Powerman 5000? I dug the shit out of them. I love the song Supervillain. I almost dropped an F-bomb. That would have killed my monetization quickly. Oh, that's sad, Gary. That really breaks my heart. I love Iron Maiden. And I've always talked about what a great band they are live. Oh, that's sad. Just keep my memories. uh, oh, Rush. Hey, Tina. Hey, Tina. I'm going through third puberty. Hey, Tina. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to see you here. Uh, I can see Rush being boring. Uh, my favorite Rush song is not one of the popular songs. My favorite song by Rush is The Priest of the Temples of Syrinx. I love that song. Oh, that is bad. Uh, uh, when we saw Aerosmith on the Nine Lives tour, a band called Talk Show opened for them. Talk Show was the Stone Temple Pilots without Scott Weiland. Nobody stood up for them. Nobody responded to them. They were horrible. Just garbage. And the only way they got a response out of the crowd was when they said Aerosmith was coming out soon. Everyone cheered, and the lead singer literally went, "Oh, that's what it takes." And he just said Aerosmith like 5, 6, 7 times so everyone would cheer. Garbage show. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad, TY. Uh, I don't think I would enjoy that either. That's not entertainment. Uh, I want to be entertained. I'm not saying you got to have all the fire and shit, but put on a show. Oh, well, then there you go. You probably shouldn't have been at a Rush show. uh, wow, you can see dust on my shirt. Or maybe that's crumbs from lunch. Or I can see it. Not that anybody else noticed or cared. Uh, Anybody else got a show that TY, that's something I've learned. If you go see a band with great musicians, it's usually excluding Japanese bands because they're next level entertainers. But when you go see an American band that is full of great musicians, they're great musicians. They're not entertainers. So they don't even think about that stuff. Most of the bands that you go see here in the States that are entertaining are not great musicians. There's a few exceptions, but there's a difference between being an entertainer and a musician. So, oh yeah, Tina, the Monsters of Rock. Yeah. Here's an interesting fact. When Blackie Lawless switched back to guitar in Wasp and Johnny Rod joined in as bassist, I partied with Johnny Rod. He was in a band called King Cobra, and he kept me from getting in a fist fight with one of their guitar players. Super fun times. Johnny was a super cool dude, way high energy kind of guy. Uh, yeah, the band I was managing opened up for them. Carmine Apiece, one of my top two. Him and Alice Cooper are tied for the coolest two rock stars I've ever met. Gary, I've heard people talking about that. I've heard about somebody walking onto stage on BB King's stage because he was looking for the bathroom and made wrong turn and walked right up beside the stage and realized, oh shit, there's BB King. Yeah, Black Sabbath, boring. Uh, Wasp, once you've seen them, it kind of gets boring. Yeah, the Monsters of Rock was such a great thing. My When my kids were growing up, we would go to a lot of festivals, not as big as the Monster of Rock, but we'd go to these festivals, pay $40 for tickets, good tickets, see some great bands, bands that are hungry trying to earn their fans. Uh, Gary, that's the same thing this other guy said about BB King. He said once he realized where he's at, and he said nobody was doing anything, so he just stood there, and the security's like, "Who the hell are you?" But my kids both agreed that these festivals were way better than overpaying to go see some big name, a lot of rock, and they were more accessible. Oh, that band earlier, the show earlier that I was talking about, Evanescence. I mean, not Evanescence. Oh shit. Hellstorm. That was the first time we saw Hellstorm. They were very accessible, very cool, autographs, pictures, all that kind of shit. But then when we saw them again with Evanescence, who also put on a great show, the rules had changed. It was kind of like an assembly line. You just walk through. Sorry about that. They didn't get to visit with you. So I don't know if it had to do with Evanescence or if they had just changed. But yeah, so I like those festivals, and maybe that's why, because of Monsters of Rock, that kind of stuff. But I think these festivals, and that's why I keep saying on my YouTube channel that I think it would help the Japanese bands if they put together a festival of like 5 varied Japanese bands, so that everybody could get a little bit. Oh, Gary, Brandy's saying that reminded me to tell you. I like the Black Veil Brides for about that long. And then it kind of fizzled out for me. It's like, oh, I've seen this, heard this. The notifications are supposed to be quite. Gary, I found that I asked them at the post office, as they know, there is no rule against sending cigarette tobacco through the mail, rolling tobacco. There is no rule against this. I was already mailing your package, so I couldn't add any. So maybe in the future, you can get some rolling tobacco. Oh. Hello, Exoskeleton. That's a great name. All right, what are we going to talk about now? More music? I'm always good to talk about music. You do? I'll see what I can do about that. I've never been thrown out of a show. I've been thrown out of a bar. I've never been thrown out of a show. Well, what the hell? Why would you ask me about that, jackass? You asked me about that the other week. um, I don't. Well, except for one time, I got to be careful how I word this because AI. But there was one concert I went to where you take that little piece of paper and you put it on your tongue, and it makes everything way more interesting. I did get kind of lost way back. I was a teenager when that happened. I got lost in the venue for a little bit, but my friends found me and helped lead me out. Thanks, Tina. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a great day. Uh, that would be kind of funny, Gary being lost. Kind of funny. Yes. Yes, Kim, postage stamps. I have an interesting story about that. Uh, man, it's hard to talk about certain things on and you TikTok's getting just as bad as YouTube. You should see the stuff I get in trouble for on TikTok. I hate when I get their little message. You can appeal this. Okay. Yeah, we're going to stay where we stood. We're going to stand firm and no. I just had that happen with TikTok. I don't think they really look at what I'm arguing. You know, Gary, that's actually something that you got to say that she gave you COVID. One question. All right. Oh, it's not out of context, man. I don't have a script here. You can ask whatever you want. Um, it's funny that you asked that because we were just discussing this earlier before you got here. This generation of rap music is being pushed by the labels. It's garbage. If you notice, the majority of what's being pumped out is pretty much the same music. It has to have certain things. I pointed it out in reaction videos. I've actually stopped reactions and put together 3, 4, 5 songs and shown that they all have to talk about capping someone or a body count. Look at these stacks. Uh, I'll get you and uh, smoking, doing other things, and abusing women in one form or another. So uh, I think this generation has pretty much almost run its course. The label's going to have to find the next thing and move on. I'm not saying it will be better or worse, but they have to move on. Hey, Aiden, welcome back. Glad you can make it, or glad you made it. I still plan on giving away a piece of rock and roll memorabilia later. Wow, we've almost gone through an hour already. I'm having a good time. Especially since y'all are keeping the conversations going. But this generation of rap it's just the labels are putting out. They found some that work that the kids got excited about, and now they're flooding the market with it. So I feel it's only not too far in the distant future. We're going to be making a turn going into something else. Could be worse. Could be better. I would hope it'd be better, but I'm not. I don't think it will be, because the labels don't want anyone to do better. If you would listen to Japanese music, it's all positive. It makes you feel good. It tells you could do it. You can be better. Even when they're singing about depressing, sad stuff, it will make you feel better. And the rap music today is just not doing that. It's about keeping the kids that are listening to it where they are at. And that sucks. I think you should be uplifting people, telling them you can do it. You know, I work with a lot of people. They contact me that are having various addiction problems or self-esteem problems, and I help them. It's not for monetary gain or anything like that. I've been down and out, so I help people to get back up on their feet and to feel like better people. So when I hear this current rap, and even the rap that is positive, they don't push that. Gary retracted his message. That's it. I'm drinking coffee. Yes, that's exactly right. That's called product placement. They do that in movies, TV shows, but yes, they're even doing it in the rap music. Well, they do that product. They do that product placement, and yes, those kids know I have to do this to get that. You know, there's a few of the rappers that I have to very cautiously, they sold some merchandise or product. They sold product to buy studio time. I totally get that. And then once they got their studio time and got their albums out, they quit doing that. I can't hate them for that. They did something to better themselves. And I think that's what a lot of kids are missing when they listen to the music. They're not seeing that these guys got out of that situation and they can get out too, because they're singing this music that's keeping them exactly where they're at. And that sucks. And that's part of the reason we're where we're at. We're glorifying garbage instead of trying to pick each other up. That's like on the internet, all those keyboard Rambos that go off and attack you. Yeah. It may not be as exciting, Gary, but yeah, that would be better to hear. Hey, like Ice Cube song. It was a good day. That's it. Exoskeleton. That's kind of the point that I'm making. These kids see and hear what the rappers are singing about, and yes, I know a lot of them do live that life, but they think that's the way to live. So that's what keeps this vicious circle rolling, is that the kids are going, oh shit, that's what I got to do? No, that's not what you got to do. What kid, especially a poor kid, sees some guy who came from the same place he's at that has all of this? But, oh, hey, oh, you assholes. Sorry about that interruption, TikTok. TikTok made me verify that I'm still on. Like, they can't tell I'm talking and that some of you are here watching. Awesome. But yeah, I think, there is positive rap music. It's just not mainstream, and it sure as hell isn't getting pushed because, wait, if these kids are doing better, they may not want to listen to this. Because I promise you, well, thank you for still tapping. I can't believe I have to verify that I'm still here. YouTube doesn't do that to me. But yeah, some positive rap or even fun rap. It ain't even got to be positive, just fun. Something to give you some laughs or make you feel better. Because, when rap first started, it was fun. Some of it was just straight out silly, but it was fun. So I really like that. On my YouTube channel, I'm going to do some more. Oh yeah, I haven't jumped on the table. I'm not juggling. I'm not doing sleight of hand magic. I keep forgetting I can't scoot up closer because my head disappears as big as, well, it doesn't disappear. Yeah, if they smoked as much weed as they do in the videos, they would definitely be stopping for burgers. Interesting fact. That's why I started drinking Mountain Dew back in the day. That was the only thing that worked for Cottonmouth. Since you said it, everybody knows what it is. But that's why I started drinking Mountain Dew. I very rarely drink it now. I mostly just drink Dr. Pepper. And I don't get to drink a lot of that because I'm diabetic. And it's not from drinking soda. Hey. Man. Okay. So I'm not saying what I'm giving away yet, but let me ask. This is for TikTok and YouTube. Should I give away a guitar pick, either a Motley Crue guitar pick, a Ted Nugent guitar pick, or my Nita Strauss picture, autographed picture of Nita Strauss? I still haven't decided what I'm going to do, but which one strikes the most interest? But I'll give one of them away. Nothing? Nobody? Okay, cool. I don't have to give shit away. Love it. I'll give a wave. Hi. The photo? All right. Got 1 vote for the photo. Ted Nugent guitar pick. Wow. Got 1 for that. What was the second one? Either a Ted Nugent guitar pick, a Motley Crue guitar pick, or my autographed picture of Nita Strauss. So I've got 1 vote for the picture, 1 vote for Ted Nugent guitar pick. Take care, Spec. I'll see you next time, buddy. All right, so I got 1 vote for that, 1 vote for that. Live age restricted. Oh, AI is listening. Thanks to the conversation started here on YouTube, AI has now TikTok has restricted my live stream to 18 and over, which is kind of funny because it's already restricted to 18 and over. So anybody under 18 on my TikTok is lying about their age. Oh, Brandy voted for the picture too. All right. That's 2 votes for Nita, 1 for Ted. How about that? My live stream on TikTok is already restricted to 18 and over. I don't do that on YouTube. It is marked not for kids, but it's not restricted to 18 and over. But TikTok just sent me a message, so they heard what we were talking about. Oh, and I thought YouTube was bad. So I'm guessing if TikTok restricted me like that, then I'll get my little message from YouTube afterwards going, "Oh, we heard what you were talking about, Bob. So we're going to go ahead and restrict your monetization." Wow. So TikTok, I would like to say, not to those of you watching, but to TikTok themselves, I don't appreciate that. Wow. 18 and over. Yeah. Oh, man. How about that? My nose is itching. That's funny. They sent me that message. I didn't get that message last time, and I thought we talked about farther stuff, but yeah. Guess I figured it out. I'm not sending you tobacco now, Gary, because you said that you don't smoke after asking me for tobacco. I know, right? But TikTok didn't see it that way. I've argued with them many times before. I really don't care if it's restricted to 18 and over. I mean, oh, but it did bump out that guy. Oh, wow. I guess he's under 18. I appreciate that, TikTok. You bumped out one of my viewers. Oh. All right, Gary. We'll see. Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Mom, since I'm calling you Mom, they know you're definitely over 18. Because I'm way over 18. My nose looks crooked. Huh. Must be the camera angle. It's weird. The one time I've had a broken nose, I broke it myself. Pitch in a fit. I wonder what man, surely they didn't gig me on that. Okay, Gary. I will take care of that. I'm not sure when. And make sure you let me know when you get your flask. Wow, I feel like I should just go off, but I don't want to lose my YouTube if I haven't lost it yet. So just in case they're not being as penis-like as TikTok is. That's pins. P-E, you might not like my pronunciation, TikTok. I know it sounded like I said something else. Wow, that is so weird. They restricted me. Wow. That's hilarious. Yes, pins. Cool. And I think it looks good. I really considered keeping it. I was quite pleased with the way that came out. Well, restricting me to 18 and over definitely will keep people out. Maybe that's why they did it. All right, what are we going to talk about now that we don't have kids around? We got 50 minutes left. Let's have a good conversation. Yeah, talking about music like that, man, it ran through that hour. Has anybody watched The Flight Attendant on HBO Max? I'm watching that, and I'm watching based on a true story on Peacock. Both of those star Kelly Kawako. Kaylee Kawako. Hi, Sandy. That sounds good to me. I love getting your pictures, Gary. Pictures he's drawing before anybody gets confused. Pictures he draws. I'm getting my own pop Junko, whatever it's called, made. Gary drew one for me, and I found out it's actually relatively cheap to have made. So I'm going to get one custom made. Gary drew it, but I'm going to get it made. Yeah, he finished it. I can't show it to you because I'm using my phone, but yeah, he sent it to me. Everybody likes it, and I checked into it. You can design your own for $30, but it's not exactly like the one he did. So I'm trying to contact them now to find out what I need to do to get it exactly like he drew. But yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait. And since I'm getting rid of this, once I get it, it'll be on display back here, along with some of Gary's pictures, some of my other shit. Yeah, Kim, if Gary sent those kind of pictures, we wouldn't be talking as friendly as we do. I would be blocking him from the live stream. Oh, man. Maybe I should give away a picture of me. People would love that. 1989. I'll even autograph it. Just jokes. Well, the conversation sure died. Now that we're 18 and over, only. Yes, you do, Kim. But none of your pictures are of me shirtless and in shape. TY, I haven't heard of any good shows yet. I will let you know what I think as soon as I see them, Gary. I look forward to. I love looking at your artwork. Like I said, once I get rid of this green screen, some of your pictures will be up here behind me. I keep trying to get people to send me pictures of them in cool places, and nobody sends me pictures. I did have a guy who used to watch my YouTube channel a lot. He sent me a picture of the oldest, I think it's the oldest door in the world. I think I still have that somewhere. I mean, he didn't send it to me, he emailed it to me. Once in a while. Used to, they're not as apt to do it anymore. Oh, that's what I started to say, saying that person's comment. I know. I'm very jealous, Brandy. I wish I could go with y'all. I'm going to do on my neighbor actually suggested this when I told him that I did the top 10 that piss some people off, top 10 overrated bands. I'm going to do a top 10 overrated country bands, top 10 Japanese bands, and I promise you, some people will be pissed off about my top 10 favorite Japanese bands because one band will be completely missing from the list. I have a reason for that band not being on my top 10 list. I actually have multiple reasons. And no, Gary, it was actually the oldest. I think it's in England. I think it's on a pub or an inn. But yeah, I can't remember exactly. I was impressed with shit like that. But yeah, my top 10 favorite Japanese bands, there will be a couple of groups of fans that will be pissed off, especially the ones who think that their band should be number one. Actually, both of these groups, both of these fan bases will think that their band should be number one and it's not. And one of them is not even on my list. So that's going to be interesting because some people will be pissed. And it's weird. It won't be the Japanese people that get mad. It will be American people that get mad. They're the ones that talk all the shit. So I think I'm going to do top 10 horror movies. These top 10 things seem to be doing okay. Gary, your band is on the list. Your band is not one of the ones not on the list, but your band is on the list, but I can tell you it's not number one. Y'all probably already know who my number one and number two Japanese bands are. But it is what it is. It's my list. That's the other thing that gets me. This is my list, my opinion. But how many people come on and tell me I'm wrong? Yeah, I don't get it. I've talked about this with other people. If you don't like something I like, I don't care. Oh, that's cool, Kim. That's a cool picture. I should have taken. Well, you wouldn't have been able to tell, but I actually walked into Walmart one day with $40,000 in cash on my body because I was afraid to leave it in the car. Because I figured with my luck, somebody break. Well, it was my truck at the time. I was afraid somebody would break into my truck and take it. But yeah, if you don't like something I like, I don't care. You don't even have to tell me that you don't like it. I don't care. But even if you do, I don't get upset. I don't judge you. But it's amazing the people that get upset, especially about Led Zeppelin. Come on. But this time I had more people mad about AC/DC. No, it was a work thing. I was doing some work, legitimate work, real work. That makes you feel super awkward. You actually feel like you're shoplifting. You keep waiting for somebody to grab you. Try explaining that. But I may do a top 10 horror movies or maybe comedy movies because that can piss people off too. No, they did not. We actually just had that conversation again at work. I've had to explain how to get away with that. I haven't done it. AI. Now that all the kids aren't here, we're going to have some good conversations. Actually, we can't have good conversations because YouTube and TikTok interfere with that. It won't be long before, Facebook actually will interfere with your private messages. When you DM people, they interfere with that. Hey, you can't talk about that. What? Who are you to tell me what I can talk about? AI is a snowflake. For sure. And I think AI just likes to get me in trouble because they know that AI knows that I don't like AI. I think it's stupid. But uh, um, I don't know how I can do this fair on TikTok. Most of you know how to get a hold of me. Um, I gotta think. Yeah, TY, it is basically the same. Hey, speaking of horror movies, Gary, uh, I just heard from Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, she didn't contact me. I watched an interview with her. In one of the Halloween movies, they offered Mike Myers a truckload of money to do a cameo, just like to be walking down the sidewalk and walk past her, and she's going to look at him, the actor, and he turned it down. He didn't want to do it. I thought that was weird. But yeah, TY is basically the same. They're just a little more, as hard as it is to believe, they're a little bit more pussy about it. Well, it's 15, it's 18 and over. I can use that word. It's a great word, TikTok, when I'm talking about a cat. They're a kitty cat. YouTube. Oh, I did not think about it. YouTube may take that one as well. YouTube, I was also talking about a cat, CAT. So that might have ruined my monetization there. That might have sent up a red flag. Oh, well. Hi, Cynthia Ann Benzor. Oh, no, this was a long time ago, Gary, not recently. It was a while back. I can't remember which one she said it was, but yeah. Well, y'all get older, saggier. Ironically, I'm losing my sag. Ha ha ha! Riding 17 miles 3 times a day. I mean, 3 times a week. Doing 17 miles in 56 minutes. Feeling pretty good. Help me keep that extra chin out, except when I open my mouth. Absolutely. Uh, yeah, I think she's like 10 years older than me. So yeah, right around that age, TY. We're all about the same age. So, well, most of us are the same age. One person over here is not. Uh, okay, so I got 2 votes for the picture. I got to make this fair. While we're talking, y'all feel free to keep talking because I'm running out of time quickly. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do this fair. Um, we were voting on what I was going to give away. I got 1 vote for a Ted Nugent guitar pick and 3 votes for my autographed Nina Strauss picture. I also have other members of the Alice Cooper band, but I don't know that any of you give a shit about them. But people know who she is. So, and I know 2 of the people watching on TikTok know how to get a hold of me. All right, so that's what I'll give away. Oh, yes, she is. All right, so that's all the votes are for Nita. Yeah, TY, that is correct. She was never overly hot. She just had one of those looks. Okay. Shit, I don't know that. Here, I'm gonna have to post it here. TikTok, there's only one person on there that doesn't know how to get a hold of me. So just in case anybody here I'm not writing the rest of it out. That's my email address. I didn't put the .com. I figured y'all are smart enough. I don't normally have dumb people hanging out on my live streams. So for TikTok, my email address is all lowercase. It's Bob, B-O-B-B, Sixx, S-I-X-X, written as one word, at Yahoo. You can figure out the rest if you can't. But the first person to send me their address there, I will send you the picture. No. Oh, TY, I don't guess you've ever heard the story. I'll explain it. Yeah, I can't give the real person away. That's kind of illegal, Gary. So it has to be the autographed picture of her. Okay, TY, no, I am not related to Nikki Sixx. When I was 17 years old, he talked to me on the telephone when he did not have to and was totally cool to me. Since my real name is Bob, B-O-B-B, for a while I used Nikki Star, and then I settled on Nikki Sixx because of how cool he was to me, and that's why I'm cool to everyone. When I meet people after shows, when I do stand-up, whenever somebody walks up to me because they recognize me, I'm always cool. I'm never a dick to anybody because he was cool to me. He's not cool now. He's phony, garbage human being. And I know people that actually know him. So I know a lot more than y'all do about how phony he is. Yeah, he was, and this was in the 80s, right before I saw them at the Paramount Theater in Seattle, Washington. He actually talks about it in his book, The Heroin Diaries, not talking to me, but that show. He was super cool to me. So I started, since my name is actually spelled B-O-B-B, S-I-X-X, which happens to be my favorite number. 6 is my favorite number. That just worked out. So it's about balance, OCD thing. So I've used. Yeah, that's how I throw people off. My real name's really Bob 7, but I use Bob 6 to confuse people. Especially back in the day in the post office when I would pull my picture off the wall. It threw everybody off. So that's my name when I'm working with the Wiggles. That's what I use when I'm working with the Wiggles. So the first person that send me their address to that email address will be the one to get the picture. And it's all fairness. It's the first one I see, and you can tell by the way they're stacked who's first. So whoever's first will get the picture. And next week I'll give away something else because this has really been a lot of fun. I think that was called before twerking. I think it was called a guaranteed second date. I could be wrong, but that's just my guess. And that's interesting. I can tell I've been having a good time. I have not finished my coffee yet. Normally, I finish my coffee before the first hour's up. Oh, yeah. Way before that term. I mean, Casey and the Sunshine Band even had a song about it. Dun, 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 dun. But that's not the rules, Gary. Yes, I have your address, but that wouldn't be fair. Oh, wow. Oh, man, I'm fixing to sneeze. I can't sneeze on camera. Oh, I got to step off so y'all don't see that. Oh, sneezing on camera is not good. All right. Yeah, TY, the reason I do it at this time is I know some people miss out. Some people, it's late for some people. Thank you, Kim. Besides, Gary, you just got something actually quite expensive sent to you. But TY, it's just about balance on when, because there's people in other countries here, so the time changes. The people that watch me in Germany and England and Africa, the time I just had to pick up where it's a little inconvenient for everybody. So that's why it's at. And I actually settled on it on accident. I think one day I just started it at 2 and it seemed to work out. I've done some at night. I need to do a nighttime one on a Saturday night. Hey, since y'all are here, you'll be the ones to know. I am taking off the weekend of March 11th. I think March 11th is a Monday. That's my birthday. Oh, I am big in Africa. Absolutely. I think he's gone. I haven't seen him say anything. So, damn. I know I have a lot of shirts in Australia and England and a couple in Germany. Thanks, Kim. But since I'm going to take my birthday weekend off, the weekend prior to my birthday, maybe I'll try to do a Saturday night live. Oh man, I'm so sorry I said that. Maybe I'll try to do a live stream on Saturday night or maybe Friday night. Maybe I'll try to do that. So England, Africa's gone. What would be a really good time for y'all so I can work that out? Because I know it's nighttime there now, but if it's on the weekend, maybe it works out a little better. I never take my birthday off, but I decided to, what the hell, this year. So maybe I'll do a Saturday night that weekend. And I'll promote it up till then. Maybe that'll go over well. Okay, that's good for you. Well, maybe I could just do that. Just do it at regular time on a Saturday. Maybe that would work out. Because I know that way I could get more people to know. So that's good. All right. That's good to know, Gary. Thank you for the input. Oh. Well, so we'll do that. Let me look at my calendar here. Whoa. What the hell? Let me look. Okay. So that would be Saturday the 9th. Saturday the 9th, March 9th. So we'll work that out. Outstanding. So we got 27 minutes. What do you want to talk about now? Or top 10 list? I can't tell you my top 10 list. You got to wait and watch the videos. Otherwise, there'd be no sense watching the videos. I'm wondering how upset people will get if their favorite movie doesn't make the scene. I hope they wouldn't be as upset about movies as they are their bands. TY, I think Love Bites will probably have to do it the way they're doing it for right now until they get. I think the biggest problem with them is scalpers ruining the shows, because I know that happened with Bandmade. Scalpers buy up the tickets, so it looks like the show is sold out, but then the show's not really sold out because the scalpers can't scalp the tickets for what they bought them, to make a profit. I heard that was really bad when Love Bites when Bandmade came through. Because I was going to go see them at the House of Blues in Dallas. I almost pointed towards Austin. In Dallas. But something came up and I couldn't go, so I sold my tickets at the last minute. But I got to check that battery. 19%. It should make it to the end. Unstable connection. What? TikTok, can y'all still see me? There we go. Good connection. Never mind. But I think they'll have to keep doing what they're doing now for now. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Gary. I like to think every other country is better than America as far as that goes. What Kim saying, unstable connection? That doesn't really surprise me. TikTok's really kind of pissing me off. Oh, now watch me get another message from them. We heard what you said, Bob. Yeah, that is the world we live in. I mean, everybody's got to try to make money off of shit that they had nothing to do with. And it's really sad. Especially since it ruins it for bands like that. The bands that need the exposure, yet scalpers are buying up all the tickets and then they're playing to half-filled venues. But Gary, I hope it works better there. Hey, sweetie pie. Uh, my granddaughter joining. Oh, how many? I'm doing 2 again, Savannah. Uh, yeah, Gary, that's the same thing that happens here in the States. I mean, the actual ticket prices, and fortunately, I'll give some of those older bands credit is they're standing up to the ticket companies that are doing that stuff and doing different things to help change the ticket price because a lot of it is fees. I mean, a lot of the ticket prices are already expensive due to, unions and all that kind of shit. But yeah, Savannah, I'm just doing the 2. I'm doing TikTok and YouTube. I do not need anything right now. We're almost done. We've got 23 minutes left. But yeah, and I think here's an example. The bands can still make good money charging reasonable prices. Oh, T White, a lot of them are doing that anyways. I know Bandmate did a one. I think the Mafla did one. Yeah, T White, and I totally understand them doing that. I mean, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, zero travel expense. It's all thumbs up. It's like the Super Bowl, which, by the way, let me say, they should not have called that the Super Bowl. That should have been just called a bowl. That was the most boring Super Bowl I've ever seen and predictable. Very obvious who was going to win. They tried to make it like a close race to run up the numbers for betting, but that was a joke. That was just disgusting. But that was my point. People paying that kind of money to go to the Super Bowl when you can watch it at home for free in most cases. We watched it on a streaming service, but it was my regular fee that I have to pay monthly anyways. Great seats, great view, not overcharged for food. You don't have to fight to go to the bathroom. You don't have to fight traffic. You don't have to worry about getting your ass kicked after the game. So, but hell yeah, who wouldn't pay $25 to watch that? The only reason I've missed most of those streams that they do is due to the time change. My work schedule, I have to go to bed at 9 because I have to get up at 2:40 in the morning every day. So I can't stay up till the time that they normally air those things. So that's why I miss a lot of the live stream stuff that the Japanese bands do, but that's brilliant. I'm surprised American bands haven't jumped on that. Here's a good way to make some money. I mean, like when I watch Ace Monroe Band do their live streams, it doesn't cost anything, but that's an intimate setting. They're just sitting there, they interact, they play songs, they sound great. Yeah, exactly. And if they make a limited playback, that's more likely to bring up the runs, especially when people start talking. That's like when I do a comedy show, you want to do multiple nights because the first night you expect it to be shitty, and then people talk, and then the next night will be better. Yes, basically, yes, exactly right. Yeah, Gary, but the Super Bowl halftime shows are getting worse and worse. That got bad reviews. The the halftime shows are starting to suck. The commercials are starting to suck. They're charging so much more for the commercials, but the commercials suck. I didn't see any commercials that I went, oh, that were memorable. It's been forever since I saw a great commercial. But yeah, I think if they did it, yeah, Gary, that's what I'm saying. So they've shown that it works. Bandmate does it quite a bit, and so if they do those shows like that, live stream them, limited views, that kind of thing, a limited run. I don't know how many times you or go back and look at that it's going to be up. I think it would be good, and it might get them the exposure they need because if enough people are watching it, triggers the algorithm, then more people are going to see it. And because once the algorithm's triggered, like I did a live stream one time at night, and it was on during one of the Super Bowls. I can't remember which one it was, but it triggered the algorithm so hard. I had so many people coming in, and they were confused on why they were there. But it's because the algorithm popped it up, and so that worked out. But that could benefit them. So that's an option. I've had people ask me about doing live stream stand up. I don't know how that would work. It's not that I'm not funny without a crowd. I mean, when I auditioned for America's Got Talent, it was literally just a producer, a camera person, and 2 other comedians. I killed. It went great, but yeah, Gary, there's all sorts of opportunities they could use to do that. Hey, thanks for the like. Is it DOS or DOS 13, 1997? I think it probably is too. Because I don't think they get pushed like they do. I mean, look at Baby Metal. They get pushed really hard, and they've, in my opinion, which is not a popular opinion, they have declined in the quality of music they're putting out. So I think, and I'm not saying is it Amuse? Their management, Baby Metal's manager. I had a lot of respect for them in the beginning because they were cool with me, and then all of a sudden they just started not being cool with me. So I lost a lot of respect for them because I showed them nothing but respect. I didn't do any of the sketchy shit that other people do to post their videos. They should be global. They absolutely, TY. I've said that forever. Love Bites should be a worldwide phenomenon. Everyone should know them worldwide. We shouldn't have to be pushing them or talking about them. I mean, we should be talking about them, but we shouldn't have to be trying to get people. And the other thing that pisses me off here in the States, when I hear guys go, man, I need some metal. Listen to them. They go, oh, yeah. Oh, so these women that are not old guys who can't do it anymore, you would rather go see that. Oh, why didn't you say that? Don't say you want to hear metal. Say you want to hear old guys playing metal. We ran someone off. They should have a much bigger global presence. I mean, Namafla has family obligations too, but they're making it work. Everybody can make it work. It's all doable, and you're in control. Like George Strait only does 8 shows a year, and they all sell out instantly. I don't know if he's still doing it, but that's what he did for years. 8 shows a year, so that's anticipated. So if a band like Love Bites could get to where and I'm not saying 8 shows, do 20 shows or 36 shows a year. They could be spaced out. Well, that's 3 a month, which would make them more. Well, yeah, it's all doable, but on the more conservative side, if they wanted to still handle their family business or spend more time with family, they could ration out their shows to like 3 a month or 3 every other month to make them more desirable. It's like when my kids were in school, they learned pretty quick that big birthday parties weren't where it's at. They would only invite a few friends. Then it became more of a who's going to get invited to Crystal's party or Zach's party because they only invited a couple of people. They realized really quick the bigger it is, the more of a pain in the ass it is. So they both reduced the amount of people they brought invited. So if these bands were doing that, I don't know. I mean, the Mafla's gaining really well, but as hard as they're working, they should be bigger than they are. The Mafla is such a phenomenal band, and versatile. Don't get me wrong. Love Bites is the bar. They are sheer perfection when it comes to metal. Yes, they play more shows. They're out there. They're showing that they're hungry and they're working at it. But yeah, 4 shows a year will not get it done. And so that's why I was saying at least 3 shows a month. That's 36 shows a year, which is way less than what Alice Cooper does a year. And he's in his 70s. But Namafla is such a versatile band. I feel that they will appeal to a broader audience. Again, I am not shitting on Love Bites. Everybody knows that's my favorite Japanese band. Well, actually, my favorite band, period. But Namafla, I think they appeal to more people because they have a broader oh yeah. Yeah, Gary, that's what I'm saying. Amuse, and I know Amuse handles other bands, but they push baby metal really, really hard. I don't think my phone is going to make it. I better plug it in. Whew, that was close. My phone almost died. I thought I was going to make it. We got 12 minutes left, but my phone almost died. Okay, so yeah, but that Gary, that kind of proves the point. If they're pushing baby metal, and baby metal's not as good as these other bands, but baby metal has gained so much ground worldwide. That just shows if you take these bands that I feel are better by a long shot and gave them that same push, maybe. It's all about the money for everybody with everything. All right, so the lesson I've learned today is don't guzzle this in the first hour and then guzzle this. They are. And not just as the group, because as I've pointed out with Love Bites many times, they're all stars. They just happen to be in the same band. They could be doing side projects as well, which still pulls in for Love Bites. Because when people see the reaction to Miyako's piano piece for the Halloween song, they're blown away by that. But that could bring in more people to listening to the band itself. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. It seems like the conversation has died. We're not talking anymore. Oh, no, it's just plain old water. I quit drinking tequila a long time ago. Before you guess, tequila makes me nice. Tequila does not make me mean. Wild turkey makes me mean. And I mean unnecessarily mean. but I rarely drink anymore. When I do, it's usually Knob Creek. It's a fine sipping bourbon. It tastes great with Dr. Pepper, but you can drink it on ice equally as well. TikTok's lagging. Oh, great. Well, thanks, Kim, for that input. Bandmate shares. Sometimes they share the revenue with me, and sometimes they do not. Same thing with the Mufflers. Sometimes they share with me, and sometimes they do not. There's a few Japanese bands that share with me every time. Most American bands do not. Oh, you're fine, Mom. I appreciate you watching. We're talking about shit you wouldn't know to talk about anyway, so I appreciate you being here, watching and listening. Even if you ain't listening, even if you just had it on, I appreciate that. But yeah, so sometimes Bandmate shares with me and sometimes they don't. My friend Gary in England said, "Hi, Mom." Well, he didn't say hi, Mom. He said, "Hi, Mommy." Mommy Bob. I know that you have watched Love Bites, Mom. I know that's what I think you watched that piano piece by Miyako. I think I got everybody to watch that. Gary, my mom said, "Aw, hi." TY, that's the thing about the Japanese bands. I've yet to see one that was bad. I've seen some I like less than others, but I have not seen a Japanese band where I went, "Oh shit, they suck." I have not seen one. So that really aggravates me when I hear American saying, "Oh, just criticize the Japanese bands." Those Japanese bands are so much better than the American bands. And the number one thing is, well, actually, it's a multitude of things. The self-discipline, where they actually put in the work to master their instruments, not just play it, master it. Yeah, some of them do not have great vocal, but there's a lot with phenomenal vocal ranges. But yes, Gary, that is correct. But you know, they put in, they have the self-discipline to learn the instrument, to know that instrument. Plus, that's where I was headed, Brandy. They support each other. They're not like competing against each other, even though I guess technically they would be. They're not. They all support each other. They're very humble. And I want to point something out. I say humble, even though the word is pronounced humble, but I hate when I say humble and people go, "What?" So, oh, I've been in some shitty bands myself. Me and my daughter were just talking about that the other day. We had a cover band for a while. Uh, we sounded so bad, I don't even share the videos. It was fun. We did it all the time. But I don't even share the videos. I can't bring myself to even share one. Most of it's sound quality is the equipment we had, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been in shitty American bands. But the Japanese bands, you know, that they're positive, it's uplifting, they support each other. They're not out being garbage human beings. That is what matters, Kim, is the fun. And that's what I keep pointing out about Japanese bands. You could tell when you watch these bands, they are having a great time. All smiles, just like Love Bites. They smile almost the entire time. And they have infectious smiles at that. See, Gary, that's what I'm saying. You see a few bands, American bands that will support each other, but in Japan, it's all of them. Yeah, but you know, there's there's things about guitars that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of those bands, Paul Reed Smith, included, PRS included, Gibson. I found out I play Cort guitars. A lot of these big name companies source out their work through Cort. So the Gibson Les Paul, top of the line Gibson Les Pauls, Deans, Paul Reed Smith, they actually are Cort guitars. That's a fact. You can find it. You can look it up on YouTube, but that's a fact that a lot of these guitar companies source their guitars out through Cort. I discovered Cort on accident. Well, yeah, the 59 Les Paul, that's different. But I discovered Cort on accident in the 90s. I went to a pawn shop. I saw this guitar, looked like what I was looking for. It felt great. It played great. It was a Cort. I'd never heard of them. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm not saying you can't get different sounds. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a first act guitar from Walmart is the same as a Paul Reed Smith. But at the end of the day, it's the musician, not the instrument. My very first guitar was a cheap guitar from the PX in Nuremberg, Germany. And when I saw a real guitar player play my guitar, I could not believe that was my guitar. So top of the line equipment is not the deciding factor. The deciding factor is the musician playing it. That's like people who shoot pull and they say, oh, this isn't my cue. A real pull player can shoot pull. Yes, I understand that. I'm not going to sit here and argue that case. It's nice to have all that shit, and if you get it for free because they're sponsoring you, that's great. But as a musician, I know for a fact that I know guys who can make a $20, $50 guitar sound just as good as a $1,500 guitar. I promise you. I'm not saying there is not better quality instruments. There absolutely are. But a lot of people say, oh, they're all impressed with the $5,000 or the $25,000 Les Paul. Oh, I'm not saying they're not playing top quality instruments. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that they would take a cheap ass guitar and make it sound great. Oh yeah, I know that they're not. I see the quality of instruments they're playing, but they, oh shit, we're almost done. Holy shit, that's how good the conversation's been today. TikTok down to 1 over there. I thank y'all for being here. Whoever hit me with the email, I'll take care of it. I appreciate y'all so much. I will do it again next Thursday with both TikTok and bye, Mom. Appreciate you hanging out the whole time. Yep, that's what I'm saying. I play a lot of cheap guitars. I have a knockoff Dean. My all-time favorite guitar is a knockoff Dean. And it's outstanding. But I appreciate y'all so much. I hope you have a great week. I will see you next week. Same Bob time, same Bob channel. And congratulations, whoever won. But y'all be safe. And I'll see you next week. Peace.